Hey, it is 7:02 a.m. Friday, May 1st, and I am going to share a multiple visions that I was shown by God, and um, what I perceived from what I was being shown. So I can't remember in content like the exact what I was shown because when I have visions, it goes from one scene to the next. It'll fade. It'll go bam, and then it's like bright. I'm being shown something, and then bam, it's bright. I'm being shown something. So the first thing I remember being shown is that I was next to an SUV, like up in the air, and I was being shown the top of the SUV, and a woman was walking away from a old country, the back of an old country house, and it was white, and it looked two-story, and it had like a scant lawn in the back, and I knew that it was surrounded by other houses in that neighborhood. Like in the back was like a dirt access to a row of houses, a dirt road, and it was all open. And then but in the front of that house, in the front of these houses, in this tiny whatever little ran down ghetto country subdivision, there was an actual like street, and it wasn't like sidewalks and nothing like that. And she came walking from the back of the house, and she had her hand up to her face, and she was crying. She was in devastation, and her hair was twisted up behind her head, and it probably would have came down a little past her shoulders, but she had it twisted up in a clip, and it was clipped to her head, so the top part kind of hung off or out to the side, and it was like a light brown color. And she might have been like a size, I don't know, 14, 16. And I knew, and she was walking back to her SUV, and I knew that she had just stumbled across something, or she was just in distress. Okay. um and she that's what I perceived from that. And I knew that there was a house to the left and there was a house to the right. It wasn't like other visions I'd share where it was just an old house with nothing around it, or a house out in the desert with nothing around it. This was like in some back country, no um just somewhere I have never saw before. But this woman was in distress, and it was daylight. It was pure daylight. And I don't remember any. Oh, there might have been a few mature trees around. um, and I don't know. I had the feeling that she found something no good that happened in that house. Like someone died. Okay? That's what she was saying. Someone died. And then the scene of the vision switched, and I was being shown this dark car, probably early 90s, flying down in the middle of nowhere, down with fields on each side, down this dirt country road. And it was a dark car. And I was facing the front of it, and it had tinted windows. I tried to look to see if I could see anybody in there, and I couldn't. But they were flying down the dirt road, and they were going real fast. Like something you should have been only going maybe 25, maybe 10, 15, 20 miles, maybe that. They were probably going about 45, 50, 55. And then I was shown like random multiple cars. They were just outlines of it. I didn't see details. I knew that they were like older cars. Um, so I don't know if it was this car that I saw was fleeing that area and that woman happened to like come home, or it was her relative's house, or what happened, or I don't know what it was, but I was just shown a specific that she was distraught. Oh, she had like an SUV, but it wasn't like a newer type of SUV. It was probably like a 2000s. And it was like silver or gray, like gray light in color. um and that's all I remember. I know there was more. There was a few more things I was shown, but that's all I can remember. I didn't get up and write it down in the notepad. I just decided just to write down what I have right now, what I can remember this morning as I was drinking coffee. And that's what I remember. And I believe that that is what God would show me right there. That is good enough. That is definitely good enough, because all the visions I've had have pointed to there is trafficking going on. There is something going on. People are, and here's a pattern. Things that God have shown me has been old houses in regions that I have never saw before, with people I have never saw before, and old cars. We're talking anywhere from the 60s to the like mostly 80s. And the places where I have been shown are like way out in nowhere land. Especially the old station wagon I saw that was black. Another station wagon I saw, like there's no station wagons like that, you guys. I saw a cream colored station wagon with the wood paneling. Was it wood paneling? I can't remember, but it was cream. And then a black one. And then I was shown like old trucks. I was shown a truck that was like the square old Ford, but I didn't see a color of it, and it was just sitting there. Like, these people are waiting, and they drive old vehicles, and they live in old houses. They might live in a 2-story old, like, square 1920s, 30s teens house, or an Edwardian, or not really a Victorian, not something like, Queen Anne, but it's old. It came from a Sears Roebuck. It came from like, hey, we're going to throw this up for you real fast. It wasn't like, big money building back then, but they're old, and old cars. When someone like me back in the day, or just the regular person that thinks about trafficking, they think of it like a movie. They think of it, the human trafficking, they think of it like, oh, they're driving, up-to-date vehicles. They're living in apartments where they sit around and do drugs. They are, they're driving, they have this certain type of mentality in their mind. They are, they must have tons of money, like they're showing it off. They're doing, they're like, smoking cigars. I mean, whatever the mentality is of when you hear about human trafficking, or it's just something, it's not this organized thing. It's just something that, it's not like that. It doesn't always have to be like that. So these are things that God has shown me.